We love designing kitchens. This is not a design that I would have done, but it was functional enough for a small lake cottage. But as you can see, there wasn't much light getting in, that air conditioner's in the way, and there's a weird space on the left side there. There's not enough cabinets for sure. So what do you do with something like this? Well, first things first, you tear out all of the old cabinets. You sell off the old appliances that worked, scrap the ones that didn't. And once those are out, you put it on Facebook Market and they disappear. At which point you can tear out the floor and start paint, because nobody wants to paint around cabinets. And so we got out our trusty Sherwin-Williams alabaster flat paint and got to work. Once that room was painted, now we had a good starting point for picking up and getting the cabinets installed. You can also see here that the electrical work is done. From the warehouse into the truck, here come the cabinets. Loaded up, ready to roll. By the way, super windy out here today, so I loaded some more in the back. This is the whole kitchen, nice small job. The thing about today that's really interesting is I picked these up here, but in order to get to this point, I had to negotiate, right? The cabinets that I got are just plain white shaker cabinets, and you can see I'm all strapped down here. They actually wanted about 20% more for these cabinets than what I paid. So getting a competitive quote, we're with a new supplier today, and I'm keeping my business in town. I love being able to do that here at the local lumberyard. Love giving them my business. Let's roll to the house. Unboxing cabinets is a whole lot of fun. You start to get the vision of what this kitchen's gonna look like, which is great, but does it take time? In this particular case, they're just wrapped and stapled, but now I'm pulling staples out and I've got to unwrap all the cardboard, so you got a pile of that that's got to be cut up and disposed of. But the real treat is these things. So on the corner of each cabinet, each corner, I've removed the tops now, you get these little white stapled in protectors, and I'm so thankful that they're there, but prying all of them off one by one, little by little, certainly does take time. Here's where the vision starts to become real. So the next thing is to mount the cabinets on the wall. They're all unboxed, laid out. Things look pretty good. There's a little glue on one of the cabinets. We gotta try to squeeze that off the surface without ruining the surface itself. But we did a corner cabinet to go up on the wall and a long flat one. So if you remember the original picture, it just went across to the corner. And while that's fine, it left a big gap here next to the refrigerator. So we're putting a cabinet over the refrigerator. That's this little guy. We did 15-inch wide triple drawer, 15-inch regular cabinet. And what's interesting about this is I'm going to cut the side of this cabinet out, because down here is a lot of storage space. We don't want to lose that. So you'll be able to reach right in there. So that's my next task, is cut that out. So you've got 4 drawers here. Notice they're slow closed. That's really nice. Up here is a 30-inch cabinet. That's a 24-inch diagonal cabinet. This is a 9-inch tray, they call it. So this is where you put all your tray pans and things like that. We've got 18 inches here for a small dishwasher, small but mighty. We have one in our home and love it. And then next to this, once this is in the corner, that'll be this 18-inch cabinet that will fill the wall space to the windows. So you're gonna have a nice panoramic cabinet storage here, far more than there was before. And then of course, this is the sink base. And over here is going to be the range, and that cabinet and the microwave will go up here. So when you put it all together, we've picked up quite a bit of cabinet storage in this kitchen. I mean, just that one down there, 12 inches by 30 inches, that picks up quite a bit of capability. And then bumping the corner out and adding this one here really will help with the amount of storage you can get in this kitchen. And of course, you can never have enough drawers. And since sink bases, because there's going to be a sink base in here, they don't have a drawer. This is fixed. So we had to go with some drawers over here instead of just getting a bigger cabinet. That way you've got room for towels, you've got room for your utensils in a couple of places. It just made sense. Next up, let's get them on the walls. I wanted to pause right here. Notice all the light coming through where that air conditioner used to be. That transforms this kitchen alone. All right, back to the install. So the first one we put up, we held up this corner cabinet, marked the 54-inch from the floor line for the bottom of the cabinet, sourced the studs, and started drilling. And so you can see here, when we had preset those screws in the cabinet, it became easier to mount them. This is just the two of us mounting these. We've done several kitchens now, and this was really an easy one compared to many. This corner I custom cut. There's 2x4s underneath that OSB, and it fits perfectly in this little corner. We'll show more of that in a minute. This is one of those moments in life where you hope you have a steady hand. You hope you know what you're doing, because you just bought this cabinet. You're about to butcher it. Let's see how it goes. Well, there's the side of the cabinet. It actually came out pretty cleanly. Let's get this cleaned up and put in. Wait, did I cut out the right side of the cabinet? Gotcha. Yeah, that's the right side. We're good. It actually cut pretty cleanly. Even the inside edges here, the finish is just a veneer kind of finish on these cabinets. And so I wanted to make sure we didn't shred anything. And it looks like all this cut neatly and cleanly, and the inside edge feels pretty good. So now you have access. So now you can access from the front and just reach into the corner. Great to put your big pots in that Tupperware from the 1960s that you only use every great once in a while. Here's that corner cabinet. Oh, storage. If you know kitchens, you may be wondering why we didn't do some kind of corner cabinet. And the answer is because a dishwasher is the priority here for us. And so we needed a real slender cabinet and had to go DIY in the corner. But here's the final product. Things fly together until they don't. The upper cabinets are done and the shelves are in. But this is one of those cases where we had to go back yet again to the supplier. Now, it's not that the suppliers were doing a bad job, but they kept forgetting little things. So, case in point, the shelves came inside the cabinets, but the little supports, the little clear supports for the shelves did not, and they forgot to put them in. But we have picked them up, put them in. There are shelves in all the cabinets, and the uppers are hung. Now, the lowers are in place. Those will be mounted next. The thing that takes the most time, of course, is something like this cabinet. A microwave is going to hang underneath it, which means this has to have an outlet in it. And so you have to use a saw to cut a hole in the back, place that wire, run it down, and make sure that you've got power for the microwave. And then this cabinet's got to be incredibly well placed and strengthened against the wall, because you're now hanging a microwave off it. And so we've got screws in the wall here and in the corner and in two other spots along here. It's very, very well secured. This is one of those moments where you got two doors on a cabinet. And so there's an alignment. 9 times out of 10, when you get cabinets like this, they're hanging. They're not aligned. There's a gap and the doors are not matching. And so it also takes some time just to turn these little screws. Right here and right here. You can also turn them here, but these are the ones that help reposition the doors. And so it took me probably the last 15 minutes to get these nice and square, but it's done. If you have to install an outlet in cabinets, you can always drill it and use a keyhole saw or something, but this has gotten way too much use. This might be my favorite thing. Any oscillating tool that is a real friend for outlets, for cutting cabinets, and for a whole lot of other things. But this thing, I picked it up years ago. It's on its last legs. I'll be sad when it goes. I will definitely buy another. So here it is, the lowers and uppers mounted. I had to put some brackets between the lower cabinets to hold them in place well and make sure that those doors could always clear each other. It's close, but it works just fine. Once we've got the plumbing done, we'll be able to push the sink base back in place. Then it's time for countertops and appliances. Coming soon.